Hey, welcome everybody. Mr. Miller here. I'm out here in the wilderness at TI camp, which is just like any other camp, except all we do is talk about graphing calculators. That's the only difference. Other than that, it's a normal camp. So feeling pretty good, It's first night. What the hell is that? We got some bugs out here or something. Come on, bugs. Quiet down. My God. All right. Well, you never know what you're going to get out here in the wilderness. So first night of TI camp, obviously, is going to be about random number generation. That's it. Exciting first night here. Random number generation. Let me pull up the old emulator. Share screen. There we go. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Oh, there we go. Okay, see? When you're out here, you just got to roll with it. So, okay, here we go. Here's my emulator. So we got to talk about random numbers. So first thing, big deal, is you have to seed your calculator, all right? The TI calculator is random number generators based on an algorithm, right? So you need to seed it. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a random number. Now, let's just, like when you think Mr. Miller, right? You probably, first number that comes to your head's probably the number 1, right? So what you could do is you say 1, and now you got to hit the store buttons, right? It's all, there's down there, the store button. So it wants to store the number 1 someplace. So to find our random numbers, we got to go to math. So click math, boom, holler. Now you got to hit that right button. We want to get over there to probability, and number 1 there is rand. Okay, so if you hit enter and you hit enter again, now you've seeded your calculator with the number 1. Pick a random number. Don't pick 1, right? I mean, just do, I usually just do crazy numbers. I just, hit a bunch of numbers and seed it, but that's what you could do. Okay, so now what you want to do is let's go to math. Here we go, math, okay? And we will go back over to probability. Let's just go to random. So rand, we won't use this very often, just gives you a random number. Random int gives you a random integer. So that's the one that we're gonna be pretty interested in. So let's go to that. So it's gonna let you pick an upper and a lower. So if you were to simulate like a dice roll, you would want to do 1 and 6. So it's going to pick numbers between 1 and 6 that are integers. And it's going to be the number of times you want it to simulate. So say you wanted it to simulate 3 times. You would say n is 3. And then you hit enter. And it looks like that. Some calculators don't have that last screen that I had. And you would just type it in like this. So the first entry is the low, right? This is the low, the high bar, and then that's the number of times. And you hit enter, and there you go. Very, very beautiful. If you hit enter again, it does it again. Now, let's go all the way back to the seeding. So I'm gonna show you something here. What I'm gonna do now is at this point, you don't have to reseed the calculator again. I mean, I tend to do it every time, but watch this. If I go and I say 1, and I go back to store, and now I go to math, and I go to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, and then I go rand, I hit enter. Now I seeded the calculator again. So the calculator is seeded the same way it was before. Watch what happens when I generate another random number. Let's go up here, go to math. Okay, you know that. You kind of get it now. You're like, oh, I think I got this. This camp's gonna be nice. You go to random int. There we go. Same 1 6. I'm gonna do it 3 times. Okay. And you hit enter. It's the same answer. What? You come on, man. How you gonna play me like that? You see, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So that's because it was seeded with the same number. So if you seed with the same number, right, it's gonna do the same generation. So like if the whole class seeded with the number 1, we would all get the same answer. So it's important. It's still random. It's a random number, but we all just need to seed with our own values. So if it was me, right? So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to do a simulation. And we know we need a bunch of random numbers for our statistics. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to be like, hey, I'm good. I'm going to seed it with this number right here. Look at that. That's a random old number. I know ain't no one else picked that one. Now I'm going to store that in math. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, when I go to random, it's not going to get, I mean, it might give me 562, right? Because it is technically possible to get the same number twice, but it probably won't. It's not very probable. So let's see. So I'm going to go down to random int, do the same situation, and it comes up with 224. And now we've got a bunch of different ones. All right. Hey, beautiful. One last little thing before we have some s'mores. Oh, you always get s'mores at the end. And TI Camp's going to end with some s'mores, don't you worry. So right before we go to s'mores, I just want to remind you, sometimes we want to not repeat. So if you do random int no repeat, it'll generate random numbers, but it won't replace them. Okay, so we could take a look at it. Let's just do 1 and 6 again, and let's do 3 and hit enter. And notice we don't get any repeat values. Some calculators don't have the random int no repeat. So you can, in statistics, if you don't want to repeat a value, like you're selecting with, but you're not replacing, you can just ignore. You know, so if you don't want to repeat and say you get a 1, and then the next one you get a 1, you can just ignore it and just wait till you get something other than 1. That's the workaround for that. All right. Well, I think that's good enough for me as far as our random numbers here. Let's stop that. So you want to ask yourself, you gotta seed the random number generator in the TI. You do have like random.org, right? There are other ways to generate a random number, but this is TI Camp. All right. So I promised you some s'mores. The bugs are back, but I ain't got no graham crackers, so hopefully, and you know you can't have no s'mores, no graham crackers, so I do apologize. I think I got your hopes up, but we can't really have any s'mores here tonight. But you take care, and I hope night 2 is as fun as night 1. All right, goodbye.